Yes.
I'm just
And
gonna
we're
talk
live
it. Okay.
with Jamil, and I'm wearing this because it's very hot. The heating's a bit strange where I am. Right.
Well, I wish my
So,
heating was a bit strange though.
right. Okay. What? Sorry.
No, it's all right. Don't worry.
Yeah, we've got two NE people here and bad sound, so that can lead to some communication difficulties.
That's
Right.
gonna lead to some funny situations.
Hopefully. Right. So we're going to go through the sociotype test, and we'll go through each one. If you're not sure, we're not picking it. Only the ones that are absolutely sure of. But we can at least talk about introversion, extroversion.
Okay, I've already done this. I'm quite sure that I use imagination and reflection rather than manipulate real objects. Because yeah, how to explain? I just know that.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is if you then look at the definition of intuition, it seems rather similar to the definition of introvert.
Pretty much. Because how to explain it? Intuition isn't something that you can take from external stimulus or something. It's like it's not sensing. You just get a hunch. You just know it. It's really weird.
And so the way Kersey saw it is like the one that was easiest for him to see was is this person concrete sensing type or an abstract intuiting type? And so that difference is easy to see. Whereas introvert, extrovert, it's difficult to see, especially in where the gregarious and reserved. And I prefer functions. So for instance, there's 4 kinds of extrovert, there's 4 kinds of introvert. So it's obvious to tell, it's obvious when you see an ESFJ, it's obvious that they're extroverted. It's like with certain types, it's obvious with the feeling types, and it's obvious that usually it's obvious that an INTJ is introverted because they're so weak at FE. And so there's certain types where it's obvious, but for others, so for instance, if you have an ENTJ, they could come across as introverted because they might be inclined to just talk about shop. They might put their work life ahead of their social life. So there's not so, or you can have an ESTP that could come across as an ISTP because they maybe they've had a lot of bad relationships because of their problem with ethics. Oh, I mean, FI break. I shouldn't judge, but I do. Right. Right. So so that could just be the introvert, extrovert. That could just be like intuiting sensor. So what we can do is, so you lean towards this particular definition of introversion. Also sounds like intuiting. So if we then go to this one here, intuiting versus sensing, do you reckon which one are you going to pull the lever on? Are you absolutely sure you're?
I actually have a really good absorption of information and I have good memory, but I do take in world in the how to say form of ideas a bit better, because sensory things tend to overwhelm me at times, and it's like, stop, I want to get out. So I kind of like probably intuiting more.
Which kinds of discussions do you prefer to have? Do you prefer to have discussions about ideas or about real things?
It depends where I am at the moment, because let's say At home, it's just really random. We might discuss fashion or any kind of weird like business ideas for the future. Like I have an ENTJ housemate, and sometimes we talk about if we had a business, who would do what, and what kind of business would that be, and how would we get supplies, and how would we manage, and what kind of stuff needs to be done in order to produce that kind of material and that kind of product. So it's just literally we go random tangents. Or sometimes we just talk poop about people. It's like, oh yeah, she did that. Yeah, she's such an ignorant person. Or did you see that thing? Oh, it's so cute. Or oh look, I bought this. It's like random, really, really random.
So ENTJ housemate. So do you think that you're quite similar to her?
Well, how to say it? Her boyfriend, he's an ISTP. He said two sides, two same sides of the magnet push each other away, and that's how we work. We just get each other worked up sometimes because we're too similar at some things and we're too different at other things. And it's like, let's say we're quite similar. We have, how to say, she's a little less sensitive to people's problems. She sometimes mocks them, and I'm like, girl, do you know what's empathy? But yeah, we do kind of get stuff like we agree more on sensory stuff together, and kind of like I can't cajole her into doing something easier than she could probably do it for someone else, or I don't know. It's kind of like.
Do you think you have similar interests but look at things in different ways?
Yes. Yeah, we do actually.
The reason I'm asking this, folks, is that ENTPs and ENTJs are quasi-identicals. Just like INTPs and INTJs are quasi-identicals.
Oh yeah.
So if we pull the intuiting lever, so we've killed all the sensing types. Oh dear. So logical
and loathing people, lothical. That's a new word.
Oh dear. So if we now this one, let's talk about this, because we were talking about this yesterday. Which one of these two do you think you are?
That is really hard because this is my preference, how I like to do things, how kind of like which I prefer more, yeah, or which I value more. Thing is that I value logic a lot more, but it's just like I think my logic is so skewed that I just go by feeling, and usually it's just like yeah, I think yeah.
When you said go by feeling, do you go by impulse?
Not exactly, actually. Usually I think over it, and I overthink sometimes. So I just get stagnant. Right. But I do go by feeling. It just takes a lot of time to process it. And it's kind of logic in a sense, but it's...
Oh.
Yeah?
Just so the audience have some context, do you want to tell them how old you are?
I am 21, by the way, and I have no idea what kind of type I am.
Right.
Been confused.
I have an idea.
So yeah.
I have the idea that she's given off a ton of NE, or she's either that or she's got ADHD. Now I can say that because I used to have that.
The thing is that I really have ups and downs in my energy. And like I don't think I would have ADHD because there are times when I can be really, really concentrated on things and can just nail them. If I put my mind to it, it's just amazing. It's that most of the time my brain chooses to be like, oh yeah, look, you're doing this, but look, there's a cat outside. Oh, there's a squirrel. No, look, an airplane. No, my God, let's think about this. And I'm like, brain, please stop. No.
Yeah.
It's just like it's killing me, and I need to like. Concentration is draining, but it's just like whenever I do it, it's just worth it.
Yeah, you need some dopamine.
Or I just need some caffeine caps and just some more coffee.
Yes.
And sugar.
Interestingly enough, because I can research that later on, because in the hormones with the temperaments. And even though I did a biology degree, it's really hard. It's much harder than Socionica. Because all the way things, you think my diagrams are complicated, folks. You look in a biology book with all the systems, the way it all connects together with these complex interactions between hormones, when you've got about 600 hormones in the body.
What? I thought, okay, 600.
Yeah.
That is mind-blowing. How are we even working?
I don't know.
Yeah?
Very complicated systems, but eventually I'll be able to explain it. So, right. So what I'll say about the now the people in here that have done this research have slightly, what they don't understand is the scientists have made a little bit of a mistake, and I can say that because I can see that they can't tell the difference between someone who's hyperactive with NE and someone who's hyperactive with SE. They're hyperactive in completely different ways. Someone who's hyperactive with SE, what they're actually doing, they're like really focused on. So it's like if they are like a boy racer and they're in the zone, then like they're really focused. The NE person, they're not focused. They're like changing all the while, and so that's why if you give dopamine to someone with ADHD, NE are opposites, because SE concentrates on what is, NE concentrates on what could be. So, and Carl Jung, and that's in Psychological Types, where he talks about that in order for extroverted intuition to work, extroverted sensation must be repressed, and it goes the other way around as well. So, for instance, if you're a racing car driver, you know, people with ADHD need not apply. You have to be totally focused, or you will die in that moment. And so. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, anyone with accentuated NE, and Victor Galenko himself, like when we did the NE hangout, you might get a lot out of that hangout that we did in February, or it might have been February or January. He actually, in his table, he said that accentuated NE was ADHD and ADD. Because it's like some people, you've seen some ENTPs, it's like, whoa. You got ADHD?
Dude, are you on drugs? Are you using... I don't know. They seem crazy, some of them.
Was that, I'm an INTP with that, and people think I'm an ENTP. If I were an ENTP, in the way I am, I'd be even worse.
Oh my god, that would be like... If you fed an ESFP, like, rocket fuel and, like, 2 tons of coffee, it would... That probably wouldn't be worse as an ENTP like that.
So do you think, does coffee make you focus a lot better?
Yes. Like literally, if I come into work and I don't have my coffee 2 hours after the start, I'm like, can't think. What are you saying? Like, I don't get you. Like, I do get the words, I just don't get the meaning. And it's like, afterwards, I'm like, manager, I'm getting my coffee now. It's like, I'm getting really pissy.
Right, I'm just making a note in this book too. How many F's are in caffeine? How many F's are in caffeine?
Double?
Double, right, okay.
Yep.
I'm just putting a note here, research caffeine and type. Because I have an idea that types will react differently to it. So, for instance, NE types might need it more in order to focus.
I was actually thinking of buying caffeine tablets today because I just can't keep drinking coffee at work because sometimes we don't have the coffee beans or sometimes there's just no time to do that. So I might as well just get some of that.
Do you think any people should get caffeine patches?
I think any people should get sedated.
Yes.
We're just awful.
Yes, we'll never be able to finish this video.
We're just going to be like, let's go for a nap. And it's going to last 7 hours. And it's going to be still going on. And we're going to be like, let's not edit and just post it on YouTube. And people are going to be like, what the hell's that?
In fact, let's see what Helen Thomas has written about caffeine. Caffeine. She's not put anything. Deary me. She never put anything about Kretschmer either when she should have. Because he was the one that noticed that that hormones are very important with temperament. But in those days, they knew the glands that were involved with the hormones. So, for instance, it is
I can't really hear you at the moment. It is very dodgy, the connection.
Okay. How about
now?
I
can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of that? Is it too abstract? Too hard to choose?
Which one? The static or dynamic?
Yeah.
No, this is a set of an object or process at a given moment, but overlooks changes and strengthens them. It is a bit too hard to, because it just depends on in what kind of state I am. Sometimes I'm really aware of my surroundings. It's just like everything seems to be so quick paced, but I just catch up with it and be like, yeah, this and this has changed, and that has been changing, and I see that that's going on, and it's just I'm really aware. But at some point, I just get so apathetic to it. I'm just like, I see it's changing. I just don't care about the details. Just see overall the picture. Just anything else can go to hell.
You know, when you're hyper aware of your surroundings, is that usually after you've had your morning coffee?
When I'm hyper aware of my surroundings, it's usually when I'm stressed, but I get the grip back. And it's like, okay, I'm aware that I need to get my stuff together, and I'm just trying to pick everything up, every single detail. Since my work is really sensory, I try to pick every single detail I need to analyze to get back. So I step back, look at it from, I'd say, from afar, collect all the information, process it quickly, and just go.
Right. Reminds me of Super ENTP.
Why? Huh?
Just thought of Super ENTP. I'm going to use my special powers to assimilate all the information, right, and then springs into action. Right.
I am Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. is ENTP, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think he is, because he's really like, he has that ENTP air about him. He's like, he's careless, but he has all of his stuff together, and he's like, yeah, look at me, just being awesome here.
If you want to see an amazing performance by Robert Downey Jr., watch the film Charlie Chaplin. I think it's just called Chaplin, where he plays Chaplin, and he's able to do all of the physical comedy that Chaplin did. It's amazing. He did that in 1990 or 1991. Right, so static dynamic. What about positive, negative? Is it a bit of an iffy one? Undecided?
Can't I answer this either. It just depends on my states usually.
Right.
Like, if I'm nagging about stuff, I'm gonna be proper nagging and picking on stuff. If I'm fine, if I'm happy, I'll be like, yeah, that's fine, you're a good person, I don't mind you, you're just like the best person around me, you're really good at your stuff, do as you do, you're fine, you're good, I love you, you're the best, and just go in life, I believe in you. If everything's bad, I'm like, I'm shit, this is bad, I can't cope with this, and just get me out of here. And yeah, and this and this and this and this is bad, and that is bad, and you just go down my face.
Right. How about asking and declaring?
Typically speaks in questions, Professor. Mm-hmm. Okay, I do speak in statements mostly, but I monologues to dialogues. I'm in the middle. Like, I do love a conversation, but it's just not like I am of something strongly any of that. It's just in the middle. Detailed speeches, interested in self-expression and hearing on the person. Again, depends. If I'm really excited to talk about something, I might as well sit down and talk with someone and ask every single detail about the person's things, because I know that it's going to make them happy. It's going to make them feel like they're getting attention, and I'm genuinely interested. Or if I'm excited about talking about something that I did, I will just be like, yeah, dude, listen to me. This and this and this happens. Yeah, I'm kind of happy. And yeah, and what has happened to you? So this is really hard for me as well to decide. It just varies so much.
Okay. When you usually talk to people, do you usually talk more than they do?
Probably they talk a lot more.
Right. Okay.
Well, this is a reverse situation because you're typing me and that's all, and you're asking good questions and I'm giving the answers.
Yes, that's true. Well, and I'm an asking type, and I like people talking.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens if we did click asking. Ooh.
What?
Well, Don Quixote's still alive, and that's ENTP.
Jesus. I highly doubt that thing. It's just like so
Yeah.
unlikely.
Yeah, did you say you're in between on asking and declaring?
Yes, I am in between.
Right, okay, here we go. Tactical and strategic.
I think I'd be more strategic because usually it's not about the whole process, it's about what I get. And I might as well just be like, well, we there, because it's kind of like the result is what I want more than the how to get it.
So are you iffy on that one, or are you definitely going to pull the lever on any of them?
I think, yeah, lever is unstrategic.
Right, you're pulling that one. Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh, Don Quixote died. So definitely strategic.
Huh?
Are you definitely strategic?
Probably the most, because there's like,
Right.
Okay, I'm feeling iffy about it now.
Okay.
Let's not do it.
Okay.
Second turn is just like, I don't know, like seriously. Like constructive and emotive, I guess.
What about if you look at the last sentence of each one, like finds it easier to change the goal than the chosen tactics, and then the other one says finds it easier to set a goal than to decide on the next step. So, do you keep changing your goals?
This one is actually really like hard to answer.
Okay. Okay. We'll go on to the next one.
All right.
Emotive.
Yeah, I definitely go with emotive because usually it's more like at first I'm like, oh, you acted like a jerk, and only then I just look at the side why they acted like a jerk and what was the logical basis of the action or any kind of word they said or something.
And you try to adjust to the other person's mood.
I do actually. If they're pissed off, I'm kind of like, I try to, I'd say, if they're pissed off and they want to rant with me, I will rant with them. But if they're pissed off then want some empathy, I'm like, yeah, dude, I do get it. It's really bad, but you know, it's not always about the stuff that goes bad. It's just like you can cope with it, and it's like it's gonna get better. So I do kind of chameleon at times, just to like make sure that the person around is feeling a bit better.
Right. So you want to pull the lever on emotive.
Mm-hmm.
Right. First perceives the emotional implication. Ooh. Oh, that's killed off Don Quixote.
Yep.
Don Quixote. But the ENFP is still alive. Pardon?
I know that ESN is the
INFJ.
INJ, okay. Huxley is the ENFP. Robespierre, yep. I have no idea.
That's me!
Oh, okay. Okay, why is it still alive? Kill it with fire. It's not right. I'm not an NT. All right, what's next?
Right, so definitely an emotive person. And you did say something about having white hair earlier on. So, you know, that's consistent with the ENFP and their funny hair colours.
I know. I've seen the NTPs being really like parrots or something. I've seen even like ESFJs having green hair. Okay, I guess now it's Rash.
Well, ESFJs would only have green hair if it was fashionable. If it was the dumb thing. What about this? Rational, irrational.
I do relate to experience a lot, and I do try and assess the information first. So I guess it is rational, because I always filter the information and kind of like, this sounds like a pile of poop, or this is legit, and I can accept it. So not iffy about this. Kind of can take it.
Okay, definite rational.
Yes.
That leaves you with ENTJ and INTP.
This is a big no-no for me.
Right, we could deselect emotive and see what it leads, but you think you're definitely an emotive person. You definitely adjust to the other person's mood. Okay. Here's a good one.
Not always, but most of the time, yeah.
Well, are you as sure? Are you totally sure of emotive, or do you just lean towards emotive?
I did lean towards it, but quite strongly.
Okay. But we can also take the point of view. Do you think you're probably not an INTP or an ENTJ?
Huh? I can't really hear you.
You're probably not an. Do you think you're an INTP or an ENTJ?
Highly unlikely, because I'm too sensitive, and it's really easy to tick me off and make me nervous. Like.
Right. So we've got to unselect one in order to bring some other types back. So this one brings back INFP. You see. So INFP is still alive. If we go with intuitive and rational, but the problem is with rational is that for introverts, it's really hard to be able to judge rational, irrational, because we can. So, for instance, myself, I'm internally rational, but externally, I'm NE. I'm not as organized as. Because if you can't focus on one thing, so right here I like this one: process and result. Oh wow!
Just gonna take this away. Okay, focuses and process, finds it hard to tune out of it or tune back in. It's typical of him or her to do the work from the beginning to the end without switching to something else. And result oriented, Can multitask. It's typical of him or her to divide the block into small portions and one. Nope, I am more process oriented. Because if I start going sideways, I'll go sideways all the way. Since high school, since I was a child, I used to just like sit down and do my homework all through the way instead of like eating or drinking. I would just like snack on something and do my stuff. But God forbid me to get up because then I'd be like, oh yeah, look, outside's really pretty. I gotta go play. And then I'd forget that for 5 hours and it'll be like, forgot my homework. Crud. So it always has been like that. That I have to just sit down and make myself finish it from the start.
When you read a book, do you read it in order? Say you're reading a factual book, do you read it in order? Or do you read it out of order?
If it's something that I really needed to read, I would probably keep it in order. But if it's just like for fun, I'll be like, okay, page 69. Okay, the middle of it. Oh, look, this is a fun fact. That's cool. And I'd probably be like doing this whole day. But if it's something that I need to take seriously, I'd be like, okay, start and this is how many pages and this is how many I already gotten and this is how much stuff have I learned, and probably I'll get systematically through it.
So once you're on, do you like to stick to one project? Like not have a lot of projects on the go at the same time?
It's better if I'm trying to achieve something, it's better to do one thing at a time. Because if I did a lot, I'd be just like in shambles.
Right, now this leaves, INFP is still alive. So, but the rational and irrational, we'll unselect that because it is a bit, rational, irrational is a bit weird. And there's some other ones coming up. Reasonable and decisive is a better one for phrasing it. So let's go with yielding and obstinate.
I think I'm yielding. Yielding is. Huh?
Yeah. You want me to pull the lever on yielding?
Yes, definitely.
Right. So that leaves ENTP and INFP. Right. Then we've got carefree and farsighted.
Police, that one's come through. I think I'm more farsighted because usually it's like, oh look, I'm in a situation that has been really similar. I've been to 2 years ago, and the outcome might be X because of Y. And people are like, why do you think so? I'm like, because I've been there, I've done that, and I know that. And they're like, that's weird.
Right.
So okay. I think should be farsighted, I guess.
Right. What you've got is you've got INFP, Fyodor Dostoevsky. But let's see what the other one is. Yeah, and so the other one was you went for rational. That matches. Now, but you went for emotive. That didn't match. But let's try this one. Reasonable and decisive. Let's see what happens. Which one are you closer to on that one? Because you could just be an INFP with really strong NE. Or you could be a more reserved ENFP. No.
That's what I've been thinking about. Because I'm not rational enough to be an NT. It's like being ENTP would probably make me sound a bit more. How'd say it? I wouldn't have gotten. Well, I didn't get along with my ENTPX anyway, so.
No.
It would have probably helped me to understand him a bit more, and it didn't. So I kind of can't imagine myself being the same type.
What about that one? Reasonable, decisive.
I think it must be reasonable. Like, I am kind of like 55 to 45% sure.
Right. So you're not normally mobilized?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. See what happens. Oh, still alive. Dostoevsky is still alive. So how about subjective objective?
Mm. Consider someone else has been in place as an agent, but on shouldn't rely on his and her own subjective worldview. Being more subjective.
Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, it's just killed. This killed Theodore.
I guess I'm just no type.
No,
Like,
I don't. That question's a bit iffy.
mm,
Bit iffy. Some of them are iffy. Some of them are cool. What about this? This one is badly named aristocratic democratic because most people are going to not want to be aristocratic. But which one of these two do you think?
I think democratic because I've been like, I view everyone as someone that has a thing or two different about them. And I don't know. I view society as a society, but I still see it as a collection of individuals.
Oh, if you click democratic, it kills
Everything. It burns it with fire.
Right, now what we can do now is show you which ones the traits are for. So if I click here on Fyodor Dostoevsky, these are the traits for Fyodor Dostoevsky. Well, we already know they're introverted and they're feeling type and they're intuitive and they're static. Positive or naive. Oh yes, do people accuse you of being naive?
Oh yeah, I was told I'm gullible because I just get caught off guard by some of really, I'd say, stupid jokes, and I'm like, I'm not naive, it's just a stupid joke. And they're like, no, this is not a stupid joke, you're being gullible. I'm like, go away, I don't like you.
Right. Rational process, yielding, farsighted, reasonable, objective, aristocratic. Oh, there we go. So, right, can I hang out?
Huh?
So, anything you want to tell the folks? Anything you want to tell the folks?
Okay. All right, guys. All of you are amazing, and all of you have something about yourself that will always be unique and what to say? And as much as you feel poopy about yourself sometimes, as much as everything falls off your hands and you're like, I want to give up. Remember, there's always something you're good about. There's always something that you make other people go crazy about. Maybe your looks, maybe your character, or just something you can do really well. It's just that don't give up and think that there's always a better tomorrow, and after a lot of junk, there's always good stuff coming in, and that I'd say don't put your hands down, don't put yourself down, and know that you're amazing, guys. Like, seriously.
Okay.
Nothing else to say, sorry.
There's the closing statement, folks. Right, here we go. Bye-bye.